Hi, and welcome to another episode thing of Living in New York with Isaac and Vanlife. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Isaac or Ike Wellhausen. I'm an actor from Indianapolis, Indiana. And I converted this van to live in, and now I'm living in New York City trying to pursue my dreams. So, that's all I'm doing full time is trying to audition and do callbacks and do different things like that. And so that's what we're going to talk about today is the audition lifestyle of an actor, how it's changed even from when I was in school, whenever I graduated years ago, and all that crap, all the fun stuff that no one really wants to talk about. But yeah, so I'm here in New York City. First thing, I just today came back from a callback, which was a dance audition for I believe I said before, ABT, Arizona Broadway Theater, and it was amazing. I want to do like a huge shout out to them in terms of like that was a really well run audition, and the choreographer, director, whatever position he actually is, was amazing, and everyone in the room, I must say, it was so cool because we haven't had in person auditions for a long time, right? And I haven't done many in a long time. And, the whole New York thing, it's intimidating if it's your first time and you feel like there's a lot of pressure. But everyone that was in that room today wanted the best for everyone else in that room. And that was like a really cool experience. And I was really excited by that because, I do dance, right? I'm an actor, singer, dancer, and I'm proud of what I can do as a dancer. But I said this to some people that I met today. I was like, I may not be the best dancer technically, but I will work harder than anyone else in that room, and that's the goal. Is like you go into those auditions, dance calls, whatever it may be, and you do the best work that you can possibly do on that given day or for yourself or whatever, and then just come back better the next time. I mean, no matter what, you're doing what you sought out to do. Being in that room is a success, and that should never be like looked down upon. And there were probably, I want to say, like 40, 50 people. It wasn't a huge group because this is the one that got like thinned out from the audition yesterday. So these are the people I wanted to see dance, and it was really cool. I had a really good time on this audition. And my last audition that I did back at Actors Theater of Indiana, like that was an amazing, fun audition as well. The dance call, etc., everything was really great. So I've been 2 for 2. I can't promise that it will continue down that path, but here we are. I'm EMC again. I mentioned that to some people before. Equity membership candidacy candidate, whatever. But today, I was had just finished the callback, and I was waiting on a friend to meet me for dinner. And I had applied slash whatever. I sent in my information to Equity to get my equity status, essentially, if I decided I want to turn equity. And so what I did was I got my equity application the other day, woot, and I filled it out, and I have it all saved and the PDF ready to send in an email whenever I'm ready to turn equity, which is really cool. The only reason I think I'll go that route is if I'm not able to get into the auditions I want, because I saw audition postings today for like Moulin Rouge and Cursed Child, which I literally saw yesterday, which was really cool. If you've not seen it, it's like started at 7, ended at 10:30. It's a long haul, but it's totally worth it. The magic and effects are so freaking cool. So go see Cursed Child. It's pretty cool. The thing that we do is we see these shows, right? You see something on Broadway, off Broadway, whatever, and you can see yourself in roles or not. And that's when you're kind of coming to the stage of like, you are good enough to be there, to be in that room, and to be on that stage to do that. There was nothing that anyone did on that stage that I didn't feel capable of doing. And that's where I feel most people need to have a mindset. Because like they're just the people that worked. And I was talking with a few friends yesterday, and they kind of described it like, we as artists, like what you have in New York is pretty much regional theater. Like that's just what Broadway is. But it's obviously Broadway. So, obviously people take it to a different level than you would find in other parts of the country. So think of it that way if it helps you, that this is just another regional theater, and, like a regional theater route, and your job right now is to just get a job and break into the industry. That's what you're doing. So I'm going to kind of talk now a little bit about the audition process. Because it just changes for everyone. Obviously, I want you to first step, have a lot of material, as much material as you can. Like your book, they give you like these guidelines. You can have like 60s through, cut now and like pops and rocks and all those things. Like, sure, have a cut of something, right? Of that genre, of these genres. Have contemporary, have classical, have whatever. But also sing what you like, sing what sounds good to you. I am still recovering from like a bout of like laryngitis or something where my entire throat was white, and I have not fully been able to get my voice back to where it was. So the material that I would like to sing for these auditions, I'm not able to. So I have to switch it up. What was funny was I went into this audition yesterday, and they said to bring two contrasting pieces, which I don't know if I've ever had to actually do that for an audition. Normally, you just sing through 132 bar, and they're either like, "Oh, yeah, stay around," or they'll give you material or something. But this was fun because I sang a piece from one of my favorite musicals to listen to, the last 5 years. I sang "Shik's a Goddess," and I went up at a part in terms of like I sang it in a nice, beautiful tone, but I stopped right before the next phrase that everyone really wants. And I literally told the accompanist while I was setting up everything, I was like, I'm gonna stop it here and leave them wanting more. And then the director was like, I really wanted you to sing the rest of it. And I was like, I guess I did my job. So it kind of comes to twofold in terms of how you present yourself and what you do. Most people think you have to shoot and hit these high money notes that are like the top of your range. You're not often going to be skrelting an A unless the role is going to be like, oh, we're going to be skrelting an A. Do your audition with something you're comfortable with, you're capable of doing every single time, no matter what your vocal quality is. My second piece was much lower, and right now you may be even able to hear my voice is really low, lower than it ever usually is. And so I sang a piece that I haven't sung in years, but it's a low piece from Mac and Mabel called "I Won't Send Roses," and it's all the way down there, and it's literally, I have it on my resume what my range is, and I'm actually singing down there just for a second, just so they can hear that little bit of tone, and also it's a good storytelling piece. So you don't always have to sing these big, brassy, belty things that everyone expects you to. There are more roles than tenors out there. If you didn't notice, I'm a baritone. So just bring stuff that you like, stuff that you think you can sing well, and stuff that means something to you as well. So that's the singing portion, right? I literally was packing up, and the director ran out, and he was like, "Hey, can you come tomorrow at 2 o'clock for a dance audition?" I was like, "Absolutely, no problem, whatever." So I do that. And it's one of those things where, like, in the room, he didn't say it, but then he literally came outside of the room, ran to me to ask me to do that kind of stuff based on my singing. And so I went in for this dance callback audition, whatever you want to call it, and it went really well. It was as good as it could have. It was a contemporary style piece. And it was like maybe 4/8, not even that long, but still very specific stuff that I don't do. Like, I'm not trained in that way, but I can learn, I can adapt. I'm musical theater, but this was not musical theater. So it was fun regardless. And the thing was, I went in there knowing that, like, they're not going to hire me for my dancing. That's not what I was trying to get hired by. I just had to show them that I was capable of doing the job that they assigned me. And I will say, what I thought was really fun about a keen observation in the room was that I was the only bald person that was called back, which I don't know if that's just like abnormal for this company or for myself or whatever, but that means that A, I stood out in some way, or B, I'm a different look that maybe they didn't consider at first, but now they're knowing to consider based on what I had presented. So for auditions, you just really gotta be comfortable and in your own skin. You gotta have a good time. They want you to have a good time, be yourself. So if you have to go do like a very intense workout at the gym or like do a yoga session before you go to an audition, do it. Do what will get you in the right state of mind to not be panicky, not to be worried, not to do anything, because all these casting directors, these agents, all of these people, these agencies just want to see you, because that's what makes it your audition, and that's what you're trying to sell at the end of the day. I had some really crappy headshots that printed out, and I was like, well, I already paid for them, and I was like, they're not gonna fire me, or not hire me rather, because of my headshot. Because when they see me in the room, they're gonna have something as visual, yes, that this is my headshot resume. They have it. They're going to flip it over. The quality of the extra picture I have there on my resume is just fine. They're going to see who I am, and I look completely different, but also the same. So, like, it's going to be one of these things where if you take one little thing that you think is going to ruin your day or affect your audition, toss that to the side, because it doesn't really matter. It doesn't. Those things that people make you, like work so hard on when you're in school and all these things, like, I didn't wear a solid shirt today for the dance audition. Most people are like, oh yeah, wear a solid color, blah, blah, blah. Unless they tell you to specifically, don't. Do something that makes you stand out, that makes you look different. I mean, I'm not saying go wearing, some fishnets or something if it's not called for. But if it's something that you think you can look good in, feel good in, and look exceptionally like different than most people, do it. You never know. You just never know what's going to be the thing that triggers them in their brain that is like, yeah, I want to hire this person. It's just how it goes. And just don't conform to what other people are doing. If someone's like trying to tell you have to do this, you have to do that, don't. Have fun. Have fun with these auditions. And they don't really tell you that enough in school. And it's also like no one teaches you how to be yourself. So you have to. I know this is a little more audition based than Vanlife based, but like it's the same thing. Like, and if this doesn't interest you, skip over this episode, go to the next one. It doesn't matter to me, but have fun. That's the point I'm trying to get across. And doing this like full time as just the audition portion is going to be interesting. If I have to do equity so I can get into the auditions I want to get into, that's what it's going to be. You got to make these choices that, may not always seem super clear to you while you're making them, but will have an immediate and or lasting impact on you and your career. Now, if you've never done a contract at a regional theater, at a theme park, even a kids show, whatever, go do that before you come to New York. I mean, maybe you're good enough for New York. I'm not going to dissuade you from that, right? But gain that experience and bring that into the room with you, because if you can just have a conversation with these people, it makes all the difference. And also I found that like just the people in the room that I'm also auditioning with, they're good people. They're just like you. They're just surviving and trying to get a job to do what they love as well, what they train to do. So also be a good person, provide support and help when you can. Don't make it your end goal, because at the end of the day, yes, you're there for yourself. But find a way to be a good person. Show that in the audition. Show that in the room. Smile. Just be yourself, but have fun. That's about all I can say. And I'm interested to see if this works for me as we go along. And I'll keep you updated if it doesn't. But that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to be very clear, because there was a lot about the way that I was trained and taught that didn't exactly make me feel like I was doing the best work for myself. And that's, when it comes to showcases and things like that, what's best for you. Like, granted, like sometimes having that professional eye is great. I'm not going to say that that's not. And it is useful. But you got to go with your gut, what you feel good with, and then you can go from there once you get the job. This is the actual job, right? The auditioning. Whenever you're working on the contract, that's the fun bit. That's the confectionery stuff. We don't live in vans just for fun, right? I didn't choose to move here during the coldest time of the year not to pursue this fully. Do what you love, show that you love it, and do everything you can to get that done, and you'll be happy. I'm happy. I couldn't be happier. It may be 40 degrees, 30 degrees outside, but what I'm doing and the way I'm expressing my passion, I am so incredibly happy and thankful. Needless to say, I switched up the location a little bit today just to, check it out, see how it looks. Maybe next time I'll show you my audition setup or something like that, or just kind of give you an idea. So far, tomorrow will be the first day that I have to move the van. So I'll just sit in there and wait for the cleaning crew to come by, and then I'll just move my van back to where it was. Yeah, van life's not been too bad so far. There's some nitty-gritty things we'll get into eventually if you want. But please, as always, ask questions. Give me something to respond to. I'd be happy just to hear from some people. Even if you just like something, dislike something, just go ahead and shoot it at me. It doesn't matter. Let's have some fun, okay? See you next time.